What's up? Oh, need to take my headphones off because I hate hearing myself. I got my coffee right here with a little bit of Bailey's Irish cream in it because, it's the holidays and it's like 3 a.m. right now, so why not? We're going on a binger tonight. So tonight I want to talk about what is Ethereum. If you haven't looked into the video of what is Bitcoin, blockchain, and cryptocurrency, then I highly suggest you do that, because I'm really going to build off of a lot of the stuff that goes into Bitcoin and cryptocurrency and blockchain, and I'm not going to talk about those in this video. I want to build on that because Ethereum builds on that, and XRP, which is going to be in my next video, kind of also builds on this idea. Ethereum is everything Bitcoin is. All right, so that's kind of why you need to go see what the Bitcoin video beforehand if you don't really understand what blockchain is and what cryptocurrency is, because Ethereum is all of that. It is everything that Bitcoin is except for more, and that's what I want to talk about in this video now. Is what is different about Ethereum? How is Ethereum different? When I first heard about Ethereum is what got me into cryptocurrency. I'll never forget my brother telling me about it in 2016, and he was like, dude, you gotta see Ethereum. Like, Bitcoin's cool, sure, but they're doing other things in this realm, and you need to go see what they are because it's incredible. And that led me down the journey to here, to this moment. Without that conversation, I wouldn't be sitting here right now having this conversation. So really, Ethereum is what got me into cryptocurrency, which is funny because I come in and out of owning Ethereum when it comes to trading. But to me, it's a really good long-term bet, in a lot of sense. That's not financial advice, obviously, but it is one of those coins that I think that it holds the second rank, and it's moving out of that idea of being an altcoin, because Bitcoin's Bitcoin, and then everything else has always been referred to as an altcoin. Let's go ahead and cut over here. So Ethereum right now, second. It's been second for a long time. XRP has toppled it once or twice in the past, but it's always been short-lived. People think that it will happen again and stay that way. Questionable. I mean, Ethereum's Ethereum, but XRP is doing work too. So that's the kind of, there's like a little battle there going on in the trading world. So let's chat about what Ethereum is. It's everything that Bitcoin is. It's a blockchain. It's cryptocurrency. Ether is the coin essentially. But it's one key difference, and we need to understand this difference. It holds the ability to run smart contracts. And when I dove into what a smart contract is, it really kind of led down this long rabbit hole of, oh my God, this really does just change everything. And so, smart contracts, all right, it's just a program. It's just code. You write this, this code that says this is what's going to happen, and then you deploy it to the network of Ethereum, and then it runs this code for you. All right, so Bitcoin technically has smart contracts. They're built into to handle small things, but you can't make your own and then just send it off to Bitcoin and it handles it. These are built into the network from day one. But what happened is that when Ethereum got built, they said, oh my God, we can do everything that Bitcoin does, but we can also have all of these nodes, these people running the network, run software, run programs, run anything like a computer does. And you suddenly create this, oh Lord, we have a ginormous computer working together as one. So when you have 1 million nodes, 1 million people like me running the Ethereum network on our computers, they're all communicating with each other, and they can all run anything, essentially. They're full Turing, and full Turing complete computing just means that it's like your computer at home. It's like your phone. Your phone is a full Turing. It can pretty much do anything that you want it to do as long as you can write the code to do it. So, like certain things in this world, like, I don't know, your car has a full computer in it, but it's not full Turing complete most of the time because they've only allowed it to do certain things. I can't think of a good example off the top of my head right now, and that was kind of a piss poor one in my opinion, but ultimately it's a full computer. And they built this thing. Now I want to talk about who it was real quick. This Vitalik Buterin just brilliant, and he could have his own video in itself, and he has a bunch of podcasts online that you can go watch interviews with him, and just unbelievable. I mean, 26 years old, and he's already built the world's like game-changing technology that everybody's building off of. So he started Ethereum years ago, and he also built and wrote the EVM, the Ethereum virtual machine. And that's what kind of makes everything very possible. This is the Ethereum virtual machine is what changed from, hey, we're not Bitcoin, we're Ethereum. Because we can do everything Bitcoin does, sure, but we also have the EVM. We have the Ethereum virtual machine, which allows anybody like me to write code and send it off into Ethereum, the network, pay a little bit of money, and these nodes will run my code for me and take care of things for me. So like a big thing would be, like, you know, you have real estate, you have these middlemen. You know, we're trying to wipe out middlemen that you're having to trust these middlemen to transfer money around and handle properties and handle value and handle these things. Well, they're going to cost money, and you have to pay them fees, and you have to trust them. You have to, you know, like they could just walk away with your money and then you get nothing, you know, and because it's a huge challenge. I understand that's not legal, but it happens. Well, smart contracts, they're just that. They're smart contracts. They're a contract. They're written binding contract code, you know, so that they take care of things for you. They allow these things to take place, feeless most of the time, depending on how it's all written, but mostly feeless and trustless. You don't have to trust it because it's code. It's going to do what you read it to do, so no one can manipulate it, and that's kind of a really crucial point. So this guy Vitalik wrote this virtual machine. All right, and let's break down what the Ethereum virtual machine really is. If you understand, I'm a developer, a programmer by trade. If you understand what the Java virtual machine is, when I write code in Java, all right, I press run to run the software, and whatever it is, it could be, you know, a piece of desktop software that just, like, you know, has buttons and clicks around and does some stuff for me. So I click run on the Java code that I just wrote. Well, the Java code will then send that code, that language that I just wrote, to what they have running in the background that no one sees. You don't touch it, you don't see it. It's called the JVM, the Java Virtual Machine. And it just takes in this code that I wrote, and it converts that code into bytecode, which is what processors and computers use to then run the actual code and do what you want it to do. So, I mean, if you're wanting, if you open a web browser opens up and then converts and compiles that code into bytecode for the processor, then show you the web browser. All right, that's all the Ethereum virtual machine does. All right, it takes this code or this language and converts it in each node for then that server, that node to run that code and know how to run it. This was a really, really big, crucial thing. This really gets deep, all right? And I want to just throw this out there. This may go a little over your head. That's totally fine. But if you grasp this one, it's really, to me, it's really crazy. But I remember reading one time, and the ideas kind of spiraled in my head. You could theoretically build, and the reason why you can't do this today is because Ethereum's transaction times are just ungodly slow and expensive. So this can't work right now. But I think in the near future, 20, 30, 40 years, we're going to be able to see networks that are decentralized, that are so fast they'll be able to handle the ability to run AI. You know, you have this whole world running this network. Well, you'll have an AI smart contract system built to go run on the network, and it can then do tasks for people on the network to earn money. It could earn Ether and then pay the nodes to have itself continue to run. So essentially, you can have an AI that is fully autonomous out on the network running itself that no one could touch anymore. You can't stop it. You can't kill it. You know, like it's very a weird idea in my head that you could have this, you know, AI in the network running and making money for itself so that it can continue paying the network to continue running it. Because essentially, if the money stops rolling in, then it can't pay the nodes to continue to execute the EVM, you know, to run the code, which therefore the AI would then die. It would essentially die at that point. You know, but this is a really crazy idea. So we have developers, they write this code called dApps, these programs, these apps, they're called dApps, decentralized applications, so dApps. which are really just smart contracts that then get sent over to the Ethereum virtual machine, this EVM, which are just sitting on nodes, which are computers at people's homes, and then that essentially runs it, converts the code with the EVM, runs the code, and then sends it back out to the internet, which is you and me. And that's pretty much how this all works and runs. So you connect to my home. Let's just say that I'm running the Ethereum virtual machine, the node at my house, part of the network, and you do something on the network. Well, you may connect to my house personally into my node, and then I'll do the transaction and run the EVM for you and take care of everything, and then send out the result back to you. And this is called a peer-to-peer network, peer-to-peer. I'm a peer, you're a peer, and we are just going back and forth to each other, unlike a centralized web, which I've chatted about before. So that's really what makes Ethereum just so blazingly cool and expansive, and really, when you think about it, it's like the World Wide Web 2.0, all right, in my opinion. Now, they call it Web 3, but I call it the Web 2.0. You have the Web 1.0 is what we all understand. It's Amazon, it's Google, it's Apple.com, it's whatever these .coms. It's all these online centralized places. They're creating the Web 2.0, which is a decentralized web. And it's going to create its own decentralized market, ecosystem, and everything. And you'll have two running side by side. There's plenty of room for both. I think this is just spawning the idea in my head that there's going to be even more expansive ideas to the digital web in the future. And this is just an evolutionary process that takes place. We're just going to have two different kind of running networks out there. The same way that you have the clear web and the dark web. You have the Google.com, and then you have Tor browser where you can go on and you can see like a dark website, like a dark market. Same idea. We're just taking it to an even deeper step of it, and we're incorporating cryptocurrencies and digital currency and value and transfer of value. And we're taking away a lot of the centralization and the management of people and the trusting of people. And that's really the key to this whole thing. So let's talk a little bit more about smart contracts, because ERC20 tokens, if you know what that is, they're just tokens, and we'll talk about the difference between a coin and a token, but just to give you a quick understanding, a coin is the native currency for a network. So Ethereum is the network, then the native coin would be Ether, that's a coin. Well, then tokens run on networks. They're smart contracts on a network. So basic attention token, attention coin, or I'm pretty sure, yeah, it's BAT. Basic attention token. So you have this token here. A token, this is on Ethereum. So these developers wrote this smart contract platform system, all right, and it then was deployed to the EVM on the Ethereum network, and it then said, hey, I'm going to have to pay you in Ethereum to run this thing, but we have built this new token, or it's like an asset, where you can now hold and purchase BAT tokens, and they're just like coins. They're just like coins, just like Ether or Bitcoin or whatever, but it's not its own native coin because it doesn't have its own network. Without Ethereum, BAT wouldn't exist. Ethereum crashes, BAT crashes. If Ethereum crashes, Bitcoin's still alive. Bitcoin crashes, Ethereum's still alive. But a token needs a network to live, to survive. A coin is the network. It is the native thing, So that's really the difference between the two of those. So these are just smart contracts. Well, that branched a whole another world. This is a whole world of crypto tokens now. And if you go look on here, this is a coin. This is a coin. XRP is a coin. I'm not going to get into stable coins right now. Bitcoin Cash is a coin. Chainlink is a coin. Cardano is a coin. But let's go down to like Tron's a coin. These are all their own networks. These are all their own different version of a blockchain running network. All right, but then you have DAI would be one. Now, it's kind of like more supposed to be a stable one, but it's a token, and the reason why it's a token is because it actually exists and lives on the Ethereum network. So if Ethereum crashed, you'd suddenly see this one crash. You wouldn't see Dash crash because Dash is its own network. So if Ethereum died, Dash would still be here, but if Ethereum died, DAI would be gone. Uniswap, that'd be gone. We've chatted about that one. I'm not going to get into that right now. Maker would be gone. I'm pretty sure OMG, I think, would be gone. I want to say OMG. God bless it. Compound would be gone. A bunch of these are just tokens. It's a token. A lot of these guys are just tokens. and therefore they don't exist. They're not a network themselves. So that's really what Ethereum built, is now you can have assets that exist on the network as well. It's expansive. You can do a lot, and in the faster the network and the cheaper it becomes in the future, in the creation of sharding and things like that, this is really going to change, and it's really going to adapt. I mean, we're still at like the 90s of speed wise, you know, like remember loading a page in the 90s, it would do. I feel like that's really where we are. When I click send for Bitcoin, it's like do. I'm getting there. I've confirmed like 4 times. 5 times, but we're not there yet. And I feel like that's really where we are. And in the future, it'll be more like XRP, where when I click send, it's there instantly. It's just done. I don't think about anything. It's pennies. It's like quarters of pennies. It's not even a full penny to do anything. When you send Ethereum to someone, it's gonna take 30 minutes, maybe, 10 minutes, 30 minutes, depending on how fast the network's going at that time. More people sending things, it slows it all down, and it's going to cost fees. You're going to pay a lot of money. Some people pay hundreds of dollars in fees to the network, just fees, that go to no one, just to help run the network. This doesn't exist on XRP, but XRP doesn't have it's more of a Bitcoin. XRP is really more of a Bitcoin. It doesn't have a smart contract system on there, and we'll talk about XRP in another video, but they're just attacking a different role, a different kind of sector and problem, and they run a different, how they run XRP is totally different than how Ethereum runs or Bitcoin runs. Because how Bitcoin runs is called proof of work, POW, and Ethereum 1.0, the current running of it right now is POW. That would be proof of work as well. So they actually run the same way. But Vitalik understands that that's so slow and costly that we understand today that you can't continue to go that way. So Ethereum 2.0 is actually going to be proof of stake, POS, which is a totally different little concept and supposed to kind of relieve pressure. So it's going to, hopefully, if he's right, it's going to lower the cost of each fee in transaction-wise, and it's also going to speed up each transaction as well. So that's kind of a cool little upgrade to Ethereum. But essentially what you need to understand is it's everything Bitcoin is, but it also has the ability to run smart contracts. And smart contracts are just programs. They're dApps. They're decentralized applications. They can be websites. They can be anything. They can be all kinds of different things. They can be things you can't see. They can be things you do see. And escrow is a big one right now. That's what everybody likes to do, is that you create a little smart contract that essentially it has control of let's just say a Ethereum Ether account for the currency, and when you send it in there, it will escrow. It's just an escrow. It'll hold it for an X amount of time before it enables someone to get it back out, or it'll automatically send it. So like, hey, I'll send you 1 Ether. You hold it for 1 year, and then I want you to send it back to this address. And that contract then gets deployed, and when you send it an Ether, it will take a little bit of that Ether, give it to the node, and allow the node to then say, oh, okay, you just paid me, I'll run your smart contract. Well, then it will then, for 1 year, hold it. And then in 1 year, it's going to run it again, and it's going to deploy out and send out that money back to the account. It's just going to hold it. And that's a really simple smart contract. That's what Ethereum brought to the table. They allowed you to say, hey, we're not just a currency anymore on the internet. We're also going to be the ability to have a full network that's smart and the ability to run code. So now you've got developers like me building applications to go on this and start running. So you've got a competing internet, a competing World Wide Web. You've got the World Wide Web, which is centralized, and you've got the Ethereums of the world, the decentralized networks that are growing. It's a really cool battle. So that's really what Ethereum is. I hope that I covered most of it. Let's see if I need to go back into any of these. I don't think so. I think I covered everything that I wanted to cover. Check out my next video. I'm going to talk about what is XRP and kind of dive into a little bit of that, because I know there is a lot of people don't really understand XRP, I feel like. So I really want to get into that one. It's honestly my favorite one. It's hard to say, because Ethereum and XRP are so drastically different, in my opinion, that they both are solving 2 of the largest problems in the world, and I think that's why they're 2 and 3 in the market cap under Bitcoins, because they are solving 2 of the largest problems that have absolutely nothing to do with each other. So I guess come back for that one. I appreciate it. If you have any questions, let me know. Remember, I'm ChazzCoin on Reddit and Twitter, so if you need anything, just come through there. Yep. Thanks for checking it out. I appreciate everything, and I guess that's really it, man. This is ChazzCoin. Thanks for watching ChazzyTv. See ya.